But, you know, I want to get back to a couple other things. Police forces around the country, for one. Just on TikTok alone, I see between 30 and 40 short little TikTok videos of police abusing the people out there
A day, right?
every day,
Yeah.
every single day. And I don't spend much time on TikTok. There are people that spend a lot of time on TikTok, and I wouldn't doubt if they don't see hundreds of those videos.
Yeah. It's probably
But I
endless.
see 30 to 40 a day. And it gets to the point, you know, I been on a few motorcycle rides, driven around quite a bit in the area that I'm in now, and I can't drive 20 to 30 miles without seeing as many as 1 dozen police officers.
Does it make you feel safer, David? Do you feel safe?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I feel like they're just waiting for any moment to stop anyone. I watched one cop throw his lights on. The guy pulls into a parking lot today, and I'm about 4 cars behind. The traffic's heavy. I'm doing maybe 15 miles an hour. And he pulls off into a parking lot. The police officer pulls up beside him in the parking lot, and they're having a literal screaming match uh, with the man's window rolled down and the police officer standing next to it. And I rolled my window down to see if I could hear because traffic came to a stop. And this guy was asking why the cop threw his lights on. There's nothing wrong with his car. There's nothing wrong with his plates. There's no tail lights out. He's in bumper to bumper traffic going 15 miles an hour, and it's normally 35 through there, I believe. And he wasn't changing lanes. There literally was no reasonable articulated suspicion of a crime. And I could hear this man. He was only 30 feet off the road. And I could hear this man yelling at this police officer, "What the hell are you stopping me for? What are you thinking I did? What crime did I commit?" And you could hear these words over and over and over again as it was a heated conversation. And this young police officer who looked like he was about 25, he he wasn't given any good answers at all. Now I don't know what happened because the traffic took off and I had to roll up my window and I couldn't hear anymore. But just to witness it today and then watching 30 to 40 videos a day, people are driving around and when they see a police officer at this point in their life, they've got fear, not comfort.
Yeah, David, I just take Uber because it's like at least then I'm not the one getting pulled over because it's like the way that I have to think and operate has changed because of their whole system and operation has changed to where I just don't want the hassle anymore. So at least if I'm not the one driving and I take an Uber, I'm not the one getting pulled over and I'm not the one getting the ticket.
Right.
You know? And again, if you think about freedom and you think about what we're supposed to have in America, you know, getting on your Harley and just riding with the open roads, riding in the back of some dude's, you know, riding on the back of some guy's motorcycle on an Uber is exactly the opposite. And of course, we're in the back of his car, but you get what I'm saying. Is actually exactly the opposite of freedom.
It
But
is.
but unfortunately, it's becoming more necessary to do things like that just to avoid the aggravation, the time suck, because you're constantly being hunted for what? For revenue for those municipalities. because the people that they elect and the people that they hire are morons. So what do they see? Okay, well, I see casinos make money, so let's make casinos legal, okay, and destroy the whole neighborhoods. Well, I see marijuana making money. Oh, let's legalize marijuana, okay? And they have crappy leaders that don't know how to make money, that don't know how to make revenue, and they only know how to do it by stealing.
Well,
right?
Let me bring something up with that.
Yeah.
Okay? I've never smoked marijuana one time in my entire life. Okay. Here's the issue though. Alcohol, which is legal, makes the government, the criminal justice system, the prisons, far more money.
Oh yeah.
Than if it was illegal.
Oh yeah.
When they legalized marijuana actually made the states less money than it made when it was illegal.
Yep.
By far. When it was illegal, every time somebody was caught with a little bit of marijuana in their car and they got hauled into jail, a bond was created, and usually for $10,000 to $20,000.
Yep.
The state made that money. And I'm not talking about the bond that people think about where you got to bond out. It's not that bond at all. It's the bond that's created under the ISILN number on the CUSIP of the court case. That bond is a municipal bond or a prison bond. And those bonds is really the destruction of America. Those bonds are the reason we have 70% of innocent people in prison. You look at China has 2 billion people. They've got approximately 500,000 in prison. America has 6 times less people. We have approximately 320 million. We've got almost 3 million people in prison. So we have 6 times more prisoners with 6 times less population than China. So which is the freer country?